वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. All right, so we're going to start the chapter 2 today. Okay. So, before that, in the conclusion of the chapter 1, and in each chapter, it's oh, I forgot to record it. Okay. So, almost in each chapter, we will see towards the end, it is Sri Krishna-Arjuna Samvade, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastre, Upanishatsu, right? Srimad Bhagavata Upanishatsu. Yeah. So, there are three expressions: Brahma Vidya, Yoga Shastra, and Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvada. Samvad means dialogue. Dialogue between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. So, now, these three have been used in the singular number. I mean, this just technical thing in a grammatical point of view. Okay. Now, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu. These two, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Upanishatsu, are in plural number. It means that in all the Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is also an Upanishad. Yeah. Because there are about 100 Upanishads. But this Bhagavad Gita also considered as an Upanishad, in which what is explained? The discipline of knowledge, that is known as Brahma Vidya, and discipline of action, which is Yoga Shastra. Okay, so just our reference, we must know these also. Krishna Arjuna Samvade, that is the discipline of devotion. So, knowledge, Gnan, action, karma, and bhakti, devotion, all three are taken care of. Okay, so that's just for your information, your knowledge. Now, the chapter 2, okay, as we have discussed already, in the beginning, Duryodhana mentioned about the great warriors of both armies. He was in the beginning addressing to his guru, the master Dronacharya. But as we have seen that Dronacharya did not respond. Dronacharya did not utter a single word. So, of course, Duryodhana became but sad, but got nervous. That time, Bhishma, the great-great-grandfather, blew his conch loudly to cheer Duryodhana, to say, Duryodhana, I am with you. Hearing the sound of his conch, the conches, drums, and everything of the Kaurav and Pandav armies bled forth. After this, the dialogue between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna began. That we have seen that, and that's from the in last chapter, verse 12 onward, it started. That's a dialogue between Bhagavan Krishna and Arjuna. And as we have seen that Arjun did ask Bhagavan Krishna to place his chariot in the midst of the two armies. Bhagavan, having placed the chariot between the two armies, but as we have discussed, where did he put? In front of Bhishma and Drona. The chariot was parked exactly in front of Bhishma and Drona. Right? And then ask Arjun to behold the Kuru, see the whole Kuru dynasty, the whole Kuru family. Having seen his kinsman, having seen his family member, he was filled with compassion and sadness that he cast away his bow and arrows and slumped into the seat of the chariot. The second chapter now starts with Sanjay. Okay? Sanjay, you can say the personal assistant of King Dhritarashtra, and from far he was narrating what is happening on the battlefield, which is known as Kurukshetra. Of course, he was blessed with this kind of vision, so he can see far and he can even read the mind of the people who are there. Okay, so the Sanjay telling Dhritarashtra what Bhagavan Krishna had said to Arjun when he was overwhelmed with the grief. Now, chapter 2, verse 1. Sanjay uvacha tan tatha krupaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam tan tatha krupaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudana. What Sanjay says? Sanjay said Madhusudana, one of the names of Bhagavan Krishna, because he destroyed the demon named Madhu. Madhusudana addressed the following words to Arjun, who was overwhelmed with compassion and in deep distress, and whose eyes were flooded with tears of despondence. Tan tatha krupayavishtam. Arjun advises Bhagavan Krishna to place his chariot in between the two armies, so that he may behold the war-minded warriors who dared to risk their lives by fighting against such a valiant warrior as he, means as Arjun. But now what happened? But the same heroic and zealous Arjun, at the sight of his kinsman, becomes overwhelmed with grief. His limbs give way, his mouth is parched, his body shivers, his hair stands on end, his bow slips from his hand, his skin burns all over, and his mind reels. His bravery turns into faint-heartedness, and he slips into the seat of the chariot. Sanjay conveys the same feeling of Arjun, who was drowned in distress and despondency. Ashrupurna Kulekshanam. Such a valiant warrior Arjun was, full of familial attachment, and his eyes were full of tears that he could not even see clearly. Ashru means tears. Vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha Madhusudana. Bhagwan Krishna, Madhusudan, said the following words, the words which will be repeated in the second and the third verse. To Arjun, who was overwhelmed with grief because of his loss of courage. He has almost given up. And that's why he sat on the back seat, that he doesn't want to fight. Now, the word vakyam, literal translation of vakyam is sentence. Okay, the word vakyam has a special meaning here. We need to understand that, what's written between the lines. Okay, so these words of Bhagwan Krishna are very profound and uncommon. This attacked Arjun's faint-heartedness and despondency, which overpowered Arjun in the discharge of his duty. They make him aware of his weakness and arouse in him a desire for benediction. It's because of this profound word of Bhagwan Krishna, the Arjun, by becoming his disciple and seeks refuge in him. That we're going to see in the same chapter at the verse 7. We're going to see that. Sanjay, by using the word Madhusudana, means to say that Bhagwan Krishna is the killer of demon Madhu. He is the destroyer of people having a villainous nature, and so he will certainly destroy wicked-natured Duryodhan and his group. So now, in the next two verses contain what Bhagwan Krishna told to Arjun. Okay? Verse 2. Shree Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupasthitam. Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupasthitam. Anarya Jushtam Asvargyam Akirti Karamarjuna. Anarya Jushtam Asvargyam Akirtim Karamarjuna. You must notice that here it's not mentioned that Krishna Vacha or the Madhusudana Vacha or some other names of Bhagwan Krishna. Instead, the word used by is Shree Bhagavan Vacha, the supreme reality of universe. So it says Bhagwan Krishna said. Here, as I said, Bhagwan Krishna, the word Bhagwan, because he possesses 6 divine traits, 6 divine quality. They are Six, okay? Number one is wealth. Number two is virtue. Number three is glory. Number four is greatness. Number fifth is knowledge. And number six is dispersion. And that's why in Sanskrit time it says Shad Gun Aishwarya Yukta. That is, Shad means six. Okay. Aishwarya is effulgence. Arjun, how has this affliction overtaken you at this odd hour? It's shunned by noble souls, neither could it bring heaven nor fame to you. Heaven is Swarga, fame is Kirti. Okay. So Bhagavan told him straight away, what are you thinking? And deliberately use the word at this odd hour. Now you thought that you are already here to fight? Now you thought that these are all my people, all my kinsmen, all my family? So, Arjun, Bhagavan Krishna addresses him as Arjun, which means pure in heart. The meaning of word or name Arjun is pure in heart. Bhagavan means to say how he has become faint-hearted when it's quite unbecoming of him. So of course, Bhagavan must have thought that this is not his normal nature. What happened? He's a brave person. He's a person full of valor. How come it happened? So we need to give some strong dose. Kutasva kashpalidam vishame samvasthidam. Bhagavan Krishna, being surprised, asks Arjun, why he has developed faint-heartedness instead of valor and real at this time. A man is surprised in two ways. Okay? Out of his own ignorance and as a warning to others. Bhagavan Krishna's surprise here is a warning to Arjun so that he may be aware of his duty. Remember that. Bhagavan is there just to remind his duty. You are from warrior class, and what's your duty? And that's again Bahujana Hitaya, Bahujana Sukhaya, in the interest of all, in the interest of many, and for the happiness of many. Kuta means that his faint-heartedness is not permanent in him. It's only a temporary phase which will go away. Bhagavan knew. Samupasthitam means you are faint-hearted, not only in words and feelings, but also in actions. You are overcome by this faint-heartedness, and therefore you sat in the middle of the chariot after abandoning your bow and arrows. As I told you, as we have seen that, he has almost given up. No, I don't want to fight. Anaryajustam. Great people do not become faint-hearted. They shun the feeling because it does not lead them to any good. Arya is a person with certain qualities. That is known as Arya. Great men who want to achieve success do so with fixed objectives during activity as well as non-activity. This is what we need to understand. This is what we need to see what is written between the lines. So this is the message for all of us. Great men who want to achieve success do so with fixed objectives during activity as well as non-activity. They do not shirk their duty according to prevailing circumstances. They perform their duty thoroughly with zeal and readiness in order to achieve emancipation. So, it is not proper on his part to refrain from the duty of fighting because of his cowardice. Aswargyam will leave aside the goal of success and consider the matter from a worldly point of view. The attainment of heaven is the highest achievement. With this timidity, you cannot even attain the heaven. Aswargyam. You're not going to achieve anything, Bhagavan says. On top of that, akirtikaram. Even without having the aim of attainment of heaven, a noble person performs those deeds which bring him name and fame in the world. What we say normally, name, fame and glory. But this cowardice would defame you. So it does not befit you at all to be faint-hearted. So here Bhagavan, by giving these three expressions, Anarya Jushtam Asvargyam Akitikaram, in a sequence, has explained that there are three types of person. Again, be alert, be attentive how it has been interpreted. Okay? So, three types of persons. Number one, thoughtful, whose aim is to attain benediction. Number two, virtuous, who by doing virtuous actions, virtuous activities, want to attain heaven. And number three, ordinary people who want name and fame in the world. So we need to think what path we want to choose. So by giving the above mentioned three kind, Bhagavan Krishna wants to warn Arjuna that his affection, his affliction would bring him neither benediction, nor heaven, nor fame. So basically Bhagavan says, you will be loser. You're not going to gain anything if you don't fight, but would degrade and defame him and lead him to hell. So that was the verse 2. The verse which you're going to see now, Bhagavan Krishna points out what to do when a person is in the grip of cowardice. Very good. Now the third verse, okay? Klaibyam asmagamah partha. Klaibyam asmagamah partha. Naitatvyupapadyate. Naitatvyupapadyate. Kshudram hridayam daurbalyam. Kshudram hridayam daurbalyam. Tyaktvottishta parantapa. Tyaktvottishta parantapa. Bhagavan says, O Parth, son of Prutha, yield not to cowardice. It does not befit you. Cast off this petty faint-heartedness and wake up. O vanquisher of foes, Parantapa. You know, these most important two words, the whole Gita is moving around. Number one here is the Uttishta. Tyaktvottishta parantapa. Uttishta means wake up. And so this word Uttishta from chapter 2 verse 3. And towards the end, on the 18th chapter, we all recite this verse by the concluding time of our Gita class. What it says, Karishye vachanantava. So the second word is Karishye. Bhagavan wants Arjun to act. And the whole Gita, the whole journey of Gita, finally, on the 73rd verse, Arjun convinced totally. Yes, Karishye vachanantava. Yes, Bhagavan, I will act according to your wish. In fact, on these two words, Uttishta and Karishye, long, maybe nearly 20 years back, on these two words, I have given the discourse in our Lakshminarayan Mandir, Uttishta and Karishye, and that was in demand, to be very honest. Anyway, so Partha, being the son of Prutha, Arjun is called Partha. Okay, this word is used for Arjun as Partha. So now it says that you need to act this. Klaibyam asmagama. Forget this all kind of thing. Bhagavan Krishna wants to say something special or give assurance to Arjun or something that it's an overflow of love for him. He calls him Parth. By addressing him thus, he wants to remind him that besides being the son of his father's sister, he is his loving devotee and friend. Therefore, he tells him something very secret, and he tells him, Bhagavan Krishna address as Parth to remind him of Mother Kunti's message. What was the Kunti's message? Kunti's message to Arjun and Bhim, who were ever eager to fight. It is the time for which the mother of the warrior class gives birth to her son. So that's why he was addressed as Parth. He says Bhagavan wanted to remind him. Remember that. What your mother says. What your mother's message. Message means it's his mother's order and you have to obey. So, and arouse in him feeling of bravery which befits the members of a warrior class. It means that he should not disobey his mother by showering cowardice. It's because of faint-heartedness that Arjun perceives it righteous not to wage war and unrighteous to wage war. Therefore, to warn him, Bhagavan Krishna says that it is importance rather than righteousness not to wage war. So, he should abandon this weakness. Klaibya is importance. Important person is known as Klaibya. Naitatva yupapadyate. You should not have developed this timidity in you. Bhagavan is very clear now. Because you are the son of a brave mother. Brave mother of warrior class. And you yourself are also brave. Therefore, this weakness does not befit you at all. And then what Bhagavan says, Parantapa. You are the scorcher and vanquisher of foes. So, will you gladden your enemies by showering your disinclination for war? Kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktvottishta. Here, again, Kshudra has two meanings. One, the faint-heartedness will make you lowly. It will deprive you of salvation, heaven or fame, and if you do not abandon it, you will become insignificant. Number two, this faint-heartedness is pity. So it's not difficult for a brave person like you to abandon. Kshudram hridayam. You are thinking that being virtuous, you do not want to commit a sin by waging war. But it's your cowardice. So by abandoning it, you should discharge your duty by arraying yourself to wage war. Bhagavan Krishna knows for certain that it's Arjun's first and foremost duty to wage war. So, he, without caring for Arjun's lame excuse, the excuse, underline the adjective, lame excuses, orders him quickly to wage war with full preparations. This fact has been described by Bhagavan Krishna in detail. It's going to come in next verses, most particularly from the verse 31 till the 38. In the first chapter, Arjun gave several arguments against the war, but without attaching importance to his argument, Bhagavan Krishna suddenly called Arjun for his faint-heartedness and ordered him to array himself to wage war. So, Arjun, without getting any satisfactory reply to his arguments, got excited and spoke abruptly. That we're going to see in verse 4. Okay. Verse 4. Arjun uvacha katham bhishmam aham shankhye dronancha madhusudana. Sorry, but network problem. Katham bhishmam aham shankhye dronancha madhusudana ishubhi pratiyotsyami pujarha varisudana. Arjun says, O slayer of Madhu and slayer of foes, how shall I fight Bhishma and Drona with arrows on the battlefield? Both of them are worthy of worship. Pujaraha. They deserve worship and not the fight. That's the Arjun says. Here, Arjun has used two names of Bhagavan Krishna. Arjun addresses Bhagavan as Madhusudan and Arisudan because he had killed unrighteous, villainous and cruel demons such as Madhu, etc., and foes who also always are jealous of others without rhythm or reason. But how can he kill? So basically, Arjun wants to justify that when you killed demon, they were not okay. They were demon. So for you it might be okay. But how can I kill his great well-wisher, the respected grandfather Bhishma and adorable preceptor Drona, who have great affection for him? So just say, how can I do Madhusudan? How can I do Bhagavan? Katham Bhishmam aham shankhe dronancha. I am not turning away from war because of faint-heartedness, but because it's unrighteous for me to fight with the revered Bhishma and venerable teacher Drona. Again, I would be called unmanly if I were afraid of death. I am not afraid of dying. But I do not want to kill my venerable elders who have always been very affectionate to me. Grandfather Bhishma has loved me since my childhood. When I addressed him as father, he very affectionately used to say that he was my father's father. Similarly, my adorable Guru Drona has been so kind to me that he imparted to me better training than he imparted even to his son. He taught the use of Brahmastra, the weapon. Astra means weapon, Brahma weapon, a kind of weapon which causes destruction and sent in motion by inclination. Yeah. To both of us. But as far as its control or end is concerned, he taught that only to me, not to his son. So basically, Arjuna wants to say that between my Guru Drona's his own son Aswathama and me, Drona was biased to me. Okay. He also granted me a boon that no one would excel me in military science. So it's a moral sin to wage war against them. That's, I mean, of course, Arjuna's argument. Ishubihi pratiyotsyami pujarha. Both Bhishma and Drona, being elderly, are venerable and adorable. They have a right to attack me, but it's a deadly sin for me to fight against them with my arrows. So that's again Arjuna's argument. Now, in the next verse, Arjuna, being excited, revealed his decision to Bhagavan Krishna. Now, being influenced by Bhagavan Krishna, Krishna's word, and balancing his decision with that of Bhagavan Krishna, right? So, you will see now what's going to happen. Today, yes, we're going to conclude today's class. Okay, whatever we have seen, we have enjoyed, we have liked, credit goes to all great men, all great saint, all the scripture, all the interpretation, what I have heard, I have read, I have studied. Absolutely, nothing belongs to me. As you know that our main reference book for this talk on Geeta is Swami Ram Sukdas Ji Sadhak Sanjeevanani. We'll all recite together the 73rd verse of chapter 18. Nashto mohah smrudirlabdha tvat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosme gata sandeha karishyē vachanam tava karishyē vachanam tava.